As October draws to a close in Arizona, the relentless grip of summer finally loosens, and the air is filled with a gentle warmth that feels almost like a reward for enduring months of intense heat. The sun, once harsh and unyielding, now casts a softer golden light across the desert, inviting everyone to step outside and savor the change. The days gradually grow shorter, and each evening the sky becomes a canvas of brilliant oranges, pinks, and purples. These breathtaking sunsets are a sure sign that fall has arrived in the Grand Canyon state, transforming the desert into a place of unexpected beauty and color. As the sun dips below the horizon, evenings turn refreshingly crisp. For the first time in months, Arizonans reach for sweaters and light jackets, relishing the novelty of cool air on their skin. Families and friends gather outdoors, enjoying the simple pleasure of a walk or a conversation under the stars. Parks, hiking trails, and patios come alive with activity. After a long summer spent seeking shade and air conditioning, people eagerly return to the outdoors. Laughter fills the air as children play, hikers explore desert trails, and friends gather on patios to celebrate the return of pleasant weather. The desert itself seems to awaken. Wildlife becomes more active, with rabbits and birds venturing out in the milder air. Even the plants appear to breathe easier, their colors deepening and flowers blooming in the gentle sunlight, signaling a new season of growth and renewal. This shift isn't just about the weather, it's a transformation in lifestyle. Autumn marks the start of outdoor festivals, bustling farmers' markets filled with pumpkins and fresh produce, and quiet mornings spent sipping coffee on the porch. It's a time when communities come together to celebrate the season and reconnect with neighbors. While most of the country prepares to change their clocks and adjust to daylight saving time, Arizonans enjoy the season without that extra step. Here, time moves at its own pace, and the rhythm of life is dictated by the sun and the landscape, not by the ticking of a clock. We welcome the earlier sunsets and cooler evenings, gathering with loved ones to watch the sky change colors and feeling grateful for this unique Arizona quirk. It's a reminder that here, autumn is something special, an experience to be savored. It's one of the many things that makes life in Arizona just a little different, and for those who call this place home, autumn's arrival is a cherished time of renewal, connection, and joy. Across America, the end of daylight saving time is marked by the familiar ritual, fall back. People reset clocks, gaining an extra hour of sleep as the nation shifts to standard time. Mornings become brighter, but darkness arrives earlier in the evening, signaling the true start of winter. This simple clock change impacts routines, from school schedules to commutes. The trade-off: more morning light, less in the evening, a bargain struck twice a year. But in Arizona, this ritual is absent. While others text reminders to fall back, Arizonans carry on, our clocks unchanged. We remain on Mountain Standard Time year-round, out of sync with neighboring states for several months. It's a defining feature of life in the Grand Canyon state. Daylight Saving Time, or DST, is a system designed to make better use of the daylight hours we have each day. The basic idea is simple. By shifting our clocks forward in the spring and back again in the fall, we can align our daily routines with the sun's natural schedule. This means more sunlight in the evenings and less in the mornings, especially during the longer days of summer. When we spring forward, we set our clocks ahead by 1 hour, effectively moving an hour of daylight from the morning to the evening. In the fall, we fall back, returning to standard time and shifting that hour back to the morning. The main goal is to give people more daylight after work or school, reducing the need for artificial lighting and encouraging outdoor activities. This extra hour of evening light can mean more time for sports, family gatherings, or simply enjoying the outdoors. DST was first introduced over a century ago, with its first widespread use during World War I. The idea was to conserve fuel and energy by making the most of natural daylight, a strategy that was especially important during wartime shortages. After the war, however, the use of DST became inconsistent. Some states and towns adopted it, while others did not, leading to confusion and a patchwork of time zones across the country. People traveling or doing business across state lines often found themselves out of sync. To solve this, Congress passed the Uniform Time Act of 1966, which standardized the start and end dates for DST nationwide. However, the law also allowed individual states to opt out of DST if they chose, giving them the flexibility to decide what worked best for their residents. Arizona took advantage of this flexibility, and made a unique decision. The state chose not to observe daylight saving time, setting itself apart from most of the country. Today, most Americans spring forward and fall back every year, adjusting their routines, sleep schedules, and even their technology to keep up with the time change. It's a ritual that affects everything from school start times to business hours. But for Arizonans, daylight saving time is just something we hear about on the news or see on our digital devices. We don't have to reset our clocks or worry about losing or gaining an hour of sleep. Our clocks remain steady all year long, thanks to a decision made decades ago that continues to shape daily life in our state. Across the rest of the country, the cycle of changing clocks shapes the rhythm of life for millions of people, influencing everything from energy use to evening plans. Arizona's unique choice to stay on standard time stands out in the national story of time, making us a true exception in the ongoing debate over daylight saving time. For most Americans, daylight saving time ends on the first Sunday in November. It's a familiar ritual, one that signals the true arrival of autumn, as the days grow shorter and the air turns crisp. Across the country, people prepare to set their clocks back, marking the end of those long summer evenings and the beginning of earlier sunsets. In 2025, that's November the 2nd, when clocks fall back at 2 a.m. to 1 a.m. This small but significant change means everyone gets an extra hour of sleep, or perhaps an extra hour to enjoy a late-night movie, finish a good book, or simply relax. Most people wake up to find they've gained an extra hour, a small bonus as winter approaches. The sun rises a little earlier, and for a brief moment, mornings feel brighter and more inviting. Families might linger over breakfast, enjoying the extra daylight before heading out to start their day. But in Arizona, things are a little different. This shift affects Arizona's relationship with other states, creating a unique situation that sets the state apart from much of the country. From March to November, Arizona shares the same time as California and the Pacific time zone. For months, schedules align perfectly with friends and colleagues on the West Coast, making travel and communication easy. But when the rest of the country falls back, Arizona does not. Residents here leave their clocks untouched, skipping the ritual entirely. It's a point of pride and sometimes confusion for Arizonans. Suddenly, Phoenix is 1 hour ahead of Los Angeles and back in sync with mountain time states like Colorado. This time shift can catch people off guard, especially those with family, friends, or business ties in other states. This biannual shift requires Arizonans to mentally adjust when dealing with friends, family, or business out of state. Meetings, phone calls, and travel plans all need a second look to avoid confusion. It's a puzzle we've learned to solve year after year. Families mark calendars, set reminders, and double-check schedules to keep everything running smoothly. Our clocks stay put, but our connections shift with the rest of the country. In Arizona, time stands still, even as the world around us springs forward and falls back. Arizona doesn't observe daylight saving time, except for one notable exception. We stay on Mountain Standard Time all year, never springing forward or falling back. Only Hawaii joins us in opting out of this national ritual. This wasn't accidental. Arizona lawmakers made a deliberate choice in 1968, passing a law to exempt the state. Since then, our clocks haven't changed, despite occasional debates. From November to March, we're in sync with Denver. From March to November, we match California. This shifting alignment can confuse newcomers and visitors, leading to missed appointments and calls. But for longtime Arizonans, it's just part of life. We're experts at calculating time differences and explaining our unique situation. It's a small price for the comfort and consistency we enjoy. Arizona's timekeeping history is more complicated than it seems. Before federal standardization, towns and railroads set their own times, creating chaos. The Standard Time Act of 1918 introduced time zones and DST nationwide, but after the war, states could choose their own approach. Arizona had a patchwork system. Some areas observed DST, others didn't. The Uniform Time Act of 1966 aimed to end confusion, but allowed states to opt out. In 1967, Arizona tried DST statewide for 1 year. The result? Widespread dislike, especially during the hot summer evenings. Public outcry led lawmakers to exempt Arizona in 1968. Since then, we've stayed on Mountain Standard Time year-round. Our unique approach is rooted in both history and practicality. Arizona's main reason for rejecting daylight saving time? The heat. In summer, temperatures soar above 110 degrees, and an extra hour of evening sun is anything but welcome. Unlike other states, Arizonans avoid the sun in late afternoon, preferring early mornings for outdoor activities. DST would push sunset later, prolonging the hottest part of the day and delaying relief. Energy use was another factor. Here, air conditioning is the biggest draw, not lighting. More daylight means more AC, not less, driving up energy bills. After 1 year of DST in 1967, public opinion was clear. It didn't fit our climate or lifestyle. Lawmakers listened, and Arizona opted out in 1968. The decision was about comfort, energy efficiency, and quality of life. It's a practical solution for life in the desert. There's one major exception to Arizona's no DST rule: the Navajo Nation. Spanning parts of Arizona, Utah, and New Mexico, the Navajo Nation observes daylight saving time for consistency across its territory. This means that during DST months, time in the Navajo Nation differs from the rest of Arizona. Travelers can lose and gain an hour just by driving through the region. To add complexity, the Hopi Reservation, entirely within the Navajo Nation, does not observe DST. You can cross multiple time zones without leaving Arizona. These differences reflect the sovereignty of tribal nations, each setting its own policy. The Navajo Nation's choice keeps its communities unified across state lines. It's a fascinating example of overlapping jurisdictions and local control. Living in Arizona means living by a different clock, steady, predictable, and uniquely ours. We skip the hassle of changing clocks, adjusting sleep, or resetting schedules. Life flows with the sun, not a federal mandate. Parents, schools, and businesses enjoy year-round consistency. But dealing with the outside world means recalculating time differences twice a year. This quirk has become a point of pride, a symbol of Arizona's independent spirit. Newcomers quickly learn the rules, and explaining our time zone is a rite of passage. As the rest of the country falls back, Arizonans simply enjoy the season. Our clocks stay the same, but our lives adapt to the desert's natural rhythm. We live on Arizona time, a steady measure in a world that's always changing.